Paranormal romance is having a comeback.
There is a tale.
This was everything that I wanted. Plus it has vampires. They have this rutting. I am so excited for this challenge actually, now that I'm getting into it. To kick off, I originally was going to read Bride by Hazelwood, which I've already started, but I wanted to read 2 books very specifically for this vlog. I had heard so many good things about Hazelwood's Bride, and I know that Mate is coming out later this year. I just wanted to see if it was a vibe, because I've read Deep End by Hazelwood, like loved it so much, and I was like, I need to see if it was her or if it was just like a one-off, one wonder. And then of course we were also going to read V.E. Schwab's Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, mostly because that title is just delicious, but secondly because it is a sapphic romance about vampires. Like, say less. And look, we're gonna get to all of those, but last night I was on my Kindle researching what else could potentially be a paranormal romance that I could check out, because like I feel like 2 is not a full measure, but 3 is a nice subsection, you know? I was looking into, everyone talks about Ruby Dixon as like queen of the supernatural or paranormal romance, and my god, she is. I was looking at, she does the Ice Planet Barbarians. Well, there's a whole series of Ice Planet, and look, I did start that, but I felt like that might have been a bit too far of a leap to begin with, you know? So I settled for a secondary option, which was on sale, so that was the push I needed, which was Bull Moon Rising. And I started it, and it's fun. So we're gonna add that. All of that is to say, we're gonna get into it today. I'm probably gonna be alternating between Bride and then Bull Moon Rising, because I'm listening to Bride because I'm trying desperately not to buy books unnecessarily, and I have it on Spotify, so, and I have hours. So we're gonna listen to Bride, having a fan-fucking-tastic time, and then probably swap to Bull Moon Rising until V.E. Schwab's new vampire sapphic romance comes out. So that is the agenda. I'm actually gonna go get my nails done because I am overdue. I actually have like claws. Ooh, claws. I could get no. Oh, I could go vampire. There is something in that, I will say. Anyway, let's go read some paranormal romance. So, I got my nails done and I listened while I was at the salon. This book is honestly phenomenal. Like, I'm almost 70% through now. I think I've only got like 4 hours to go on the audiobook. And I have like no feedback, like 0 notes. If you haven't heard anything about Bride, essentially it's set in this little universe where werewolves, vampires and humans like all live kind of like sharing territories almost. They kind of like have been like fighting amongst themselves. There's been like a lot of bloodshed. A solution to this problem of the bloodbath between the species is essentially to give each of the different people a hostage as a sign of good faith, to be like, no worries, we're not going to come after you, because if we do, you're going to kill this person. It's very important to us. Anyway, so with all that history, we start the story, enter Misery, who has been acting as a human hostage for like 10 years in her early childhood. And then she gets a call from her father, who's like, girl, come over, I need you. And she's been living with the humans, and so she's like, weird, but cool. And anyway, she then basically gets asked to go and be this bride for the werewolf, Alpha. And because she's got her own motive, which we don't really know at the beginning, she says yes. And so she's signed on for a year to live with the werewolves, and that is pretty much the summary. There's also then like a component of like
mystery because she's like searching for a lost friend. Anyway, it's excellent. I'm 70% in. We've had some of the funny, like, I just really do think I love Ali Hazelwood, so that makes it easy. The paranormal thing, why do I love, like, why does it work? I don't know, but I am loving it. There was a really funny scene. Little spoiler to come, so if you don't want any spoilers, please skip. But there was a scene where he needed to send her, like, essentially rub himself all over her. Yeah, it worked. It worked for me. So, I don't know what that says about me, but it worked.
Okay, so walk went well, reading went well. Bride, so far, I'm loving it. But as I said before, I do not have the physical of it. So I'm going to change gears. I'm going to swap over to Bull Moon Rising. I've read like 2 chapters of this so far. I think I'll have to reconfer with you what exactly this animal is. But he's kind of like half bull, whatever that is. I honestly don't know too much about this. What I've gathered so far is we're following this chick here. Don't remember her name yet. I'll come back to you with that. She is from like a noble family, and in this world, noble families keep these things called artifacts, and the artifacts have like magical powers, but her family doesn't have any anymore. And so she's like, I'm gonna go to the society that collects them, and I'm just gonna like get some back for the family. Essentially is the gist that I've gathered thus far. But the society, she shows up and it's all men. So a bit of female rage, I think, I'm suspecting. And then we also have the bull man. Don't know what his deal is yet, but I will keep you appraised and we will see how this version of paranormal romance goes. Okay, so Bull Moon Rising, it's going. I'm 15% through. It's just taken a weird turn. Look, so I read last night, I'm about 15% of the way through, which is really not much to judge a book, truthfully, so I am going to keep going. But it's taken a weird turn. So essentially, as I said, the main character, her name is like Aspeth or hold on. What is her name? Aspeth. Okay. So Aspeth is trying to get into this secret society to search for these artifacts so that she can redeem her family. All good. Fine with that. She's traveling with her like companion, like her handmaid, I guess, is the best way to describe it. She's like a lady, and this Gwenna is like her handmaid. And they're trying to get into this program, but things are happening. They're being blocked at every which way because it's only for men, and the men will be distracted by the women, whatever. And that's fine. But then the Torian is like, so he's Minotaur, and there's like, so like every 5 years, or I don't remember how often this happens, but every few years they have this rutting that they go through, like they essentially feel the need to procreate. And that is happening in like 20 something days. This special moon comes around and they all feel the need to, all the Minotaurs are just going to go to town, trying to do their thing. And anyway, so he happens to be the teacher. Very long story short, she meets this Minotaur. His name's Hawk. And he's explaining that he is about to do this thing and that he would be a terrible teacher for them to get into this program. Apparently they need a teacher. And she's like, well, I need to get into this program. You need to rut. And and so she's like, we should get married. yeah, it lost me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, it lost me a little bit. As soon as she said that, I was like, do you have to get married? You know? So that's about how it's going. Look, it has some moments, but I'm gonna try and look past that because that was a very unfortunate turn of events that I was not predicting. But that's fine. It's fine. We're gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep reading now, and we're just gonna try and get past that, and we will see how this progresses. There is a tail. There's a tail. That's all. I'm seeing the vibe of where we're going with this book. Yeah, we're into it. Band-Aid. There's no warm up here. I will never think about wedding rings the same way. That's all I'm gonna say. Alright, I'm calling it. I think I'm gonna DNF this one. I don't want to because I want to give it a chance, but I'm doing anything but reading it. I just like pick up, I read a few pages, and then I'm picking up my phone, and then I'm thinking about something. Like, I'm just not into it. And I just really can't get past the like marriage thing. And I know like it's not the forced marriage per se. It's just not working for me. I honestly, it feels very like, gosh, the best way I can describe it is it kind of is like very cozy, but then it like alternates between like cozy and like smutty. And that very special combination. Like, I can see how that would really work for people, but just for me, not really my vibe. So anyway, I think I'm going to leave it there. If you read Ruby Dixon, specifically this one, or maybe I should have started with Ice Planet Barbarians. I don't know, but I think that's actually aliens, which I guess technically is paranormal. So anyway, if you have read Ruby Dixon and you love her and you're like, please keep going, let me know if I should. But for right now, I think I'm going to bench this, and I'm just gonna go back to listening to my audiobook of Bride because I am truly just having such a good time with that book. Let's get back to Bride. It's actually not release day, it's 2 days early, but I heard from the guys at the local bookstore that it will be on shelves today, so we're gonna go check it out and see if we can grab it. Alrighty, so we have secured the goods. Now, I am going to preface, so a little backstory on V.E. Schwab. I have read 2 of her books. One was Darker Shade of Magic, which I did like, but at the time, I had just come off the back of like a lot of really like phenomenal 5-star reads, and I think it just like, it didn't quite hit the mark for me at the time. And then the second one I tried was Addie LaRue, which for me, again, just didn't hit, but I got why people loved it. So this is my 3rd V.E. Schwab, and look, there's something about me that if people are obsessed with someone and their work, I have to understand why. Even if it's not specifically for me, if I like will read this one and be like, you know what, it's not for me again. And I might just be like, this isn't the author for me. But I want to know what it is about that author that like, because people are obsessed with her, like, and her work. So there is definitely something to it. So I'm excited. And look, it's got a very cool premise. I just reread the 3 little blurbs about the 3 different characters we'd be following. And I am excited. And look, should I finish Bride, which I have not finished, before I start this? Yes. Will I? No. I'm going to start reading this now. Okay, well, first of all, I have dressed in my best Bones attire, and I'm officially in. It's cozy Sunday weather, and I'm in bed reading. So far, I'm still pretty early on. I'm only like 50 pages in, but it is really good. I don't want to speak too soon because anything could happen, but so far, I'm having a great time. We have met 2, so essentially this, if you know nothing, we're following 3 different women. We've met Maria, who is from 1532. We've met Alice, who is from 2019. And we met Lottie. I don't know if she's our 1827 London girl or not. I don't know, but there wasn't a date attached to her. Yeah, we're just kind of getting the backstory right now. So far, no vampires. Don't know where that comes in. But we're just kind of like learning about their lives. There's a lot of female rage. I honestly think all the things that I loved from like the 2 previous books that I didn't end up loving the story per se, but all the elements I love, like the writing style and like, gosh, her insights on just like the little details of life are just like so beautiful. I'm having a great time. We're gonna keep going. I'm really curious where the vampire thing comes in. But so far so good. Okay, so please ignore, hold on. Yeah, just ignore my dishes. That's my lunch. This book, I'm not gonna lie, for the first like 100 pages, I was like pretty convinced that I had picked up a book that had nothing to do with vampires. And I know that it says 3 young women, their bodies planted in the same soil, their stories tangling like roots. One grows high and one goes deep and one grows wild and all of them grow teeth. We love a little bit of poetry, so that's on the back there. And I was fully convinced from that I was like, we are headed toward vampires. But there were no vampires in sight for a good 100 pages. So I got a little worried, but it's fine. We've encountered said vampires. We are on track. But I will say, well, on that note, this is a paranormal romance reading blog. I don't know if this can be considered a romance. So, like, does it have aspects of romance? Yes. Is it a paranormal? I don't know. So, a little bit of false advertising for you there. I'm sorry. I didn't know. But it does involve paranormal activity and it does involve romance. So, but yeah, so far it is just so beautifully written. I think everything that I wanted from Addie LaRue, all of the like beauty in the lyrical writing and the like historical timepieces, like all those pieces, for me, are coming together so beautifully in this, where I really felt it didn't come together in the right way for me in that book. And I think just maybe having the multiple people is just really doing it a service. Anyway, this was everything that I wanted. Plus it has vampires. So anyway, it's going well. I am about to go wash my hair, which is why if you ever see this situation, it's because I'm washing my hair because I do hair oiling and we're on wash day. So I'm gonna go wash my hair and I'm pretty sure I have like an hour to go on my Bride book. So I'm gonna switch gears for a hot sack. Ooh yeah, like 93%. So we're gonna swap gears. I'm gonna go read. Listen, read. We're gonna continue this while I wash my hair. And then this is so chaotic. I'm so sorry. This is so hard to keep up. But anyway, Bride is going phenomenally. It's a 5-star. I'm not even finished, but I already know it's a 5-star. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like a god tier book for me. 6-star. I'm so excited for Mate to come out. I love that it has a second one. So yeah, I'm gonna wash my hair and keep listening.
My low hair misery 6 months was. What if I died? I think the emoji can grow fur on her elbow and we hang out in my room.
So that was a hot minute ago, and yeah, so since then I actually have recorded 2 different vlogs, and I went to Italy where I did indeed pick up a copy of Bride because it was in fact a 6-star read. It was phenomenal. I had already finished, but I was like, I will be reading this sometime in the near future, and I found this perfect flopsy copy. It was just the perfect level of, you know, if you know, you know. So we got that, and yeah, it was phenomenal. I now can say for certain that Ali Hazelwood is masterful. She is just great at what she does. So I just think that no matter what she writes, I will read it. She is just such a diverse romance author, and just every time thus far has hit it out of the park. So that was that one. And then I did end up finishing Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. I actually, so I was doing a vlog when I was in Italy where I was listening to a lot of different books for my summer vacation reading, and on my big hike day, I didn't actually include it in the video for whatever reason, I forgot, but at the very end of the walk I ran out of the book that I was listening to anyway, so I finished off the book that day. I really did love this book. I thought she did such a great job, and I loved the pacing of the different timelines and how they all interweaved. I thought that was really great. I had hoped for a bit of a different ending. A girl can dream, you know. I think I wanted, how do I say this without giving any spoilers? I wanted something new, I guess is the best way to say it. That was it. I think I wanted a different perspective on a topic that has been kind of covered a little bit before. And I do know why, the reasoning behind that choice. And I still think it was a really strong ending, and just such a strong, it's definitely my favorite V. Schwab book. But yeah, anyway, if you like this, hope you stick around a while. Happy reading, and I will see you in the next one.